Tonight, counting the cost of the tube strike as commuters and businesses battle their way through the week. One hotel tells us it's losing thousands of pounds a day.
Well, these TfL strikes affecting the regular Joe, the waiter, the bartender, the chef who is on hourly wage because business is down 80%, so therefore we don't need them. So all the staff have been let go home.
Union bosses say Sadiq Khan needs to stop tweeting and start talking. Also on the programme. The Met says live facial recognition has led to over 700 arrests this year, but campaigners say the tech is biased. Is your Labubu doll fake? Our special investigation after Camden Council confiscates thousands in just a few weeks. And
we go through everything really that's ever happened. The most extraordinary moments, the biggest battles, the mind-blowing inventions, the plagues, the rises and the falls.
A history hit from Dan Snow. The household historian's in the studio to reveal his best London secrets. Good evening. If you've tried to commute in and around the capital this week, you'll know that the tube strike has made getting from A to B a pretty painful experience. Severe overcrowding on overgrounds and buses, diverted services and traffic moving so slowly in parts, frankly, it's quicker to walk. The walkout by tube drivers who are fighting for a shorter working week has had a significant impact on businesses and tourist attractions in the capital as well. London's oldest tour bus company has told ITV News they are now losing up to £15,000 a day. Rags Martel reports.
Changing of the guard at Buckingham Palace. And despite the rain, it's the tube strike that's really changed the capital.
How's it been visiting London during the tube strike?
A little rough. We
Why?
walked 2 miles last night because we couldn't get on a bus.
There's more traffic and more people on the streets as well, so that's a problem.
I had to drive yesterday for an hour through town and walk the rest of the way home. It was crazy.
Slow, yeah, very slow everywhere.
Buses take a lot longer.
Get them back to work. Get them back to work.
Not surprisingly, tourism and tube strikes are not a good mix. UK hospitality say this week is going to cost the sector £110 million.
And the heavy downpours haven't helped either.
It's incredibly damaging to the hospitality sector in London. This should be the busy return to work week, return to school week. It's when businesses were gearing up. So it's a devastating hit, and it's half of the economic damage that's been felt across the London economy as a whole. So it's disproportionately impacting hospitality workers, businesses and customers.
At the Boundary Hotel in Shoreditch, reservations are down 80%.
Well, these TfL strikes affecting the regular Joe, the waiter, the bartender, the chef who is on hourly wage because business is down 80%, so therefore we don't need them. So all the staff have been let go home.
This is one of your buses?
Yes, it is. Toot Bus claimed to be the oldest open-top tour company in the world.
How damaging have the strikes been for you?
It's been shocking this week. You know, it's not just damaging from our customers, our passengers, it's damaging for our staff. It's damaging for overtime, it's damaging for dead mileage. Across the board, it's really been a difficult week.
How much money do you think you've lost?
We're totting it up. I think we're probably losing £10,000 to £15,000 a day just in revenue. By the end of the week, it'll probably be 50,000 in costs additionally. It's a tough week.
Back at the palace, tourists are taking on the British spirit of keeping calm and carrying on.
Has it affected your stay at all?
We're having fun.
Yeah.
We're doing good.
Such is life.
As the band marches on, London's struggling to keep in step with the continuing strikes. Rags Martel, ITV News, Buckingham Palace.
And And our political correspondent Simon Harris is here now. So Simon, any sign of light at the end of the tunnel here?
Well, certainly no sign of talks, far from it. The TfL bosses say they'd like to meet the union, but they can't accept the RMT's precondition, and that is that there must be a discussion about cutting the working week from 35 hours to 32 hours. TfL says that's simply unaffordable. There's no point talking about it. Meanwhile, at the TUC Congress in Brighton today, the RMT leader called on the Mayor, Sadiq Khan, to convene a summit.
You're the Mayor of London. You're the chair of TfL. Stop going on social media. Invite us to the meeting. Let's have a discussion, because I want to know what is going on in London. We are in a total collapse of industrial relations in London right now. And I've got to be clear, we're going to end up with more strike action, not less.
Certainly no signs from City Hall yet that the Mayor is ready to intervene. For people trying to get around London today, there was a little light at the end of the tunnel. TfL said something like 90 stations were open. A third of the tube network was running, but only at the extremities of certain lines like the Central Line and the Northern Line, the Hammersmith and City and the Metropolitan Line. But it was a better service than Monday, so at least a little bit of movement.
OK. Simon, thank you. Now, live facial recognition is a game changer for the police. That's according to Met boss Sir Mark Rowley, who says it's led the force to over 700 arrests so far this year. The Commissioner made the comments at a Tech UK conference, where he also said the tool was a major contributor to a safer Notting Hill Carnival this year. Olivia Guthrie has the story.
So I'm just pointing at a known child sex offender caught by facial recognition technology, out walking with a little girl in Southwark in breach of his conditions and in possession of a knife.
So I suppose I'm getting done for the friendship weapon as well now.
You wanted, mate? Oh, leave that.
The Met says it's made hundreds of arrests using this new technology, officers making their first within 5 minutes of it going live.
It's a game-changing tool which allows us to locate individuals of interest. It transforms hotspot policing as officers stop and arrest far more criminals. This is a great example of technology enabling officers to better protect the public in real time.
The Met Police say live facial recognition technology has led to 700 arrests in London so far this year. 50 of them were registered sex offenders in breach of their conditions. At Notting Hill Carnival alone, the technology led to 61 arrests, 13 of them for violence against women and girls. The Met Police boasts this year's carnival was the safest in years. Sexual assault down 8%, violence down more than half, and robbery down 70% on the year before. But there are concerns over such mass surveillance by the Met.
The Met's own study found that this technology was less accurate for people of colour. That means that black and brown people are more likely to be misidentified. Now, this technology was deployed at Notting Hill Carnival, the biggest celebration of Caribbean culture in the UK, and there were 2 misidentifications there.
So this is our computer equipment.
The Met insists it's using facial recognition technology with care and says the force is energised by this new advance in policing.
You've been arrested because you're showing wanted on a police national computer.
With plans to deploy drones alongside officers next, the Met says technology is keeping the capital's streets safer. Olivia Guthrie, ITV News.
The train operator LNER has said passengers' contact details have been accessed in a cyber attack. The government-owned organisation, which runs services between London and Scotland, said in a statement that it has been made aware of unauthorised access to files managed by a third-party supplier. It also says that no bank, payment card or password information has been affected. A mural by street artist Banksy is being removed from the Royal Courts of Justice. The artwork appeared on Monday, showing a protester lying on the ground while a judge stands over him with a gavel. His Majesty's Courts and Tribunal Service said that it would be removed due to the building being listed and therefore legally protected. Next tonight, Camden Council has confiscated thousands of fake Labubu dolls in just 6 weeks. The dolls, known for their furry, monster-like appearance, have gone viral, with official toys selling for up to £200. As well as being illegal, trading standards say the counterfeit versions are dangerous and could contain toxic substances. With a special investigation now, here's Antoine Allen.
These are all counterfeit. They've got the fake CE markings on them. They've got the trademark on them as well, pop mark. You can clearly see that's counterfeit because it's faded away.
These are fakes, but the real Labubu dolls are topping Christmas lists and selling out online. But on the streets of Camden, trading standards say rogue traders are cashing in on the craze by selling dangerous knockoffs.
So they're like poorly made, cheap material. The counterfeit goods are substandard, and as you can see, no item should be made in this quality and be sold here on the streets of London. At the end of the day, it's wrong.
It seems like the quality varies as well. Like this one's rock hard, and this one's soft. And
you just don't care. That should be never given to a child. At the end of the day, there you go. That falls to bits.
Well, in total, trading standards say they found 1,227 counterfeit dolls at 6 premises. Legitimate Labubu dolls retail between £16 to over £200 on the official Labubu website. The cheaper dolls are sold out, but the fakes can be found in abundance. Camden's just one area, but is this an issue in terms of fake Labubus across the country?
Yeah, Labubu dolls is a major problem all over the country because it's a brand that's been sold, and obviously it's attracted to kids mainly. And what concerns me is, like, at the end of the day, kids want to buy these.
The question is, do store staff know they're selling counterfeit goods? So did you know they were fake?
I have no idea.
But other shops were fully aware they were selling fakes.
You can have it in this colour, or this colour.
Before trading standards arrived, secret filming by ITV News uncovered the brazen sale of this must-have doll. And these are the real ones, right?
Real.
Yeah.
Normally like £50-60. Same thing.
Same thing. How much is these?
£5 for you.
Okay.
They sell everywhere, £10.
Yeah.
Across the road they sell £8.99, £9.99.
So before, everywhere was selling them.
Yeah.
2 separate shops both admit to selling fake Labubus at enticingly cheap prices. Oh, now some people will think, well, that's a good deal. They're cheaper than the £16 you have to pay for the originals. But these fakes are potentially dangerous to children. Camden Council say they've previously seized 1,000 dolls.
And now the reason we are doing this is that these fake dolls present potential child safety issues, in particular potential choking issues.
Some fakes can be convincing to the untrained eye, so what should parents look out for?
Is the packaging blurry? Is the price considerably cheaper than elsewhere? And particularly these parts around the eyes and smaller areas of the dolls, could they potentially come unstuck?
As demand for Labubus grows, so does the market for fakes. Trading standards are trying to clean up these potentially dangerous knockoffs, but their simple advice is if the price is too good to be true, the cost could be your child's health. Antoine Allen, ITV News.
Still to come, achieving his dreams at 84, why Martin Carthy is a record breaker, and
control the waters around the island, David, as we know. You know, that's the ongoing problem in British history. So
it used to be Vikings, now it's sewage.
That's a good point.
I chat to the man making history accessible for us all. But first, the Essex accent is known around the world. With the help of hit TV shows like Towie, it's become one of the most recognisable of the British accents. But research shows people from the area still face prejudice because of the way they speak. Now, a group of schoolgirls from Southend are doing their best to challenge those stereotypes with a series of poems to brighten the morning commute. Barnaby Papadopoulos has more.
Essex girl. It's actually in the dictionary and it says... No!
Remember this? Different stereotypes surround different accents, and Essex's is no different.
It's opposite. It's like stilettos.
So today a group of pupils are using poetry to fight prejudice.
It reflects how transparent I am with them and the honesty of my emotions. There's like a negative stigma around the Essex girl and the accent, and I don't think that's right. The Essex girl in like definition in the dictionary has negative connotations, and I don't think that's right. So we have to speak up to be proud of who we are, really.
Research by the University of Essex suggests teenagers here are aware of the stereotype that surrounds their accent.
I think I've always tried to change my accent when I want to be seen as smarter or like more intelligent. When we discard our accent, we code switch to fit other people's wants and needs. It means that we're degrading ourselves and making ourselves less just to fit in.
It's not just these pupils who are impacted. Also at the event was Sarah Perry, Essex University Chancellor, best-selling author and proud Essex girl.
I love Essex, I love the history of Essex, I love the landscape of Essex, I write about Essex, but at the same time, as every Essex girl knows, being an Essex girl is always makes you subject to mockery and to being diminished and not taken seriously. Occasionally I've been at literary events and I've spoken in my native accent, and then when I've moved on to talking about theology or physics, everyone's looked a little bit surprised.
My voice is home, it directs me, centres me. It tells me what I should do, where I should go, when no one else.
Throughout the morning, poems were read through the station's tannoy. QR codes will allow commuters to listen to the work on their journeys, and organisers hope that will challenge any misconceptions they might have.
Because they're on a train, they have that moment of deep listening to re-examine not only what the girls are saying, but how they're saying it, to reassign meaning to that Essex accent.
If you don't like my voice, you don't like me. You don't like my people. You don't like my history.
The poems are now available for anyone to listen to. Poems that don't just defend this accent, but celebrate it. Barnaby Papadopoulos, ITV News in Southend.
Because my voice is home, and my home is my voice.
A London swimmer has become the first member of Team GB to sign up to the controversial Enhanced Games, which allows athletes to take performance-enhancing drugs. Ben Proud is a world and European champion at 50-metre freestyle and won silver at the 2024 Olympics in Paris. The 30-year-old insists his decision is not meant to undermine clean sport. However, it will mean he will be barred from future international competition. Former Spurs captain Harry Kane paid an emotional tribute to his old teammate Jed Spence after he earned his first cap for England.
I saw what it was like and it was tough for you, so credit to you, your family, everyone involved. You deserve this one.
Spence made history as the first ever Muslim player to play for England in last night's 5-0 win against Serbia. He's spoken openly in the past about his difficult journey at Tottenham, something Kane reflected on as he praised the defender for his hard work. Now, have you ever wondered what really happened to the Titanic or how the Romans conquered the world? Well, our guest tonight certainly has and might just have all the answers you need. Dan Snow is a historian who's been gracing our screens for over 2 decades. In recent years, he's taken history very much into the modern world, though. His podcast, Dan Snow's History Hit, will be live at the London Podcast Festival for the first time ever this week. Before we hear from him, let's take a little trip through time.
It is the greatest war in history. World War II, the Second World War. And in today's episode, we're asking the biggest question of all. Why did the Allies win? They forged a massive empire. They smashed their enemies. They shaped the course of subsequent history. Sometimes they did that, well, usually, to be honest, with a sword, occasionally with a pen or a stylus. Can't control the waters around the island, David, as we know. You know, that's the ongoing problem in British history. So you...
No, it used to be Vikings, now it's sewage.
That's a good point.
So much passion comes from you through the screen.
Well, how can you not be passionate about it? It's everything that's ever happened.
Yeah.
It's by definition, the most interesting stuff that's ever happened.
And you know what? It feels like it's boom time for history right now. Yeah. Other people are just as passionate as you are, aren't they?
Yeah, people love it. I mean, yeah, people love it. If you look at TV shows, whether it's, drama, whether it's gaming, whether it's movies, whether it's podcast books, people love history. There's a myth that history's only for sort of weird old dads.
Yeah.
And I think actually that's not true. And also, it's one of the most popular GCSE subjects to be taken by young people through choice. Like people want to know where the world's in a pretty crazy place at the moment. They want to know where that came from. Palestine, Ukraine, Korea, whatever it might be. Well, how did that all come to be?
I was going to say, this is a very tumultuous time, isn't it, in history? Do you think one day people will look back at us in 100 years' time? What do you think they'll make of us?
If people look back at us in 100 years' time, that's a big win. I'll be very happy because it means there hasn't been some catastrophic nuclear or climate. Yeah, if everyone's just looking back, then let's take the win.
Yeah.
But I think they'll think that this was a generation that was wrestling with unimaginable technological change. You know, I'm old enough to have seen. I mean, I used to write letters, and I used to make girlfriends mixtapes on cassettes. You know, we are going through an astonishing change, and it is upending everything. We've got AI that can pretend it's Shakespeare. We've got a drone on Mars, and we're coming to terms with that. How do we come to terms with that? And you see it with the Industrial Revolution 20 years ago. You see it with the printing press. It often causes a lot of tumult. The pieces have been thrown in the air. We don't know where they're going to land.
Well, talking about kind of tumult and us living through that kind of change, podcasts have become such a cultural force, haven't they? Really, over the last decade, would you say? And you're very much a part of that. What is it about podcasts that really capture us?
I don't know. It's actually a bit of a mystery to me, but I'm very glad they have because they're really just radio shows, aren't they? And it's just people talking. And if anything, people talk at greater length, and there's less editing than on fancy radio productions. But people seem to really like that. They like the authentic nature of it, and you get to know people. And
they're quite intimate, aren't they?
They're quite intimate. I think that's right.
Yeah.
It's like being beside someone, having someone chat to you about. You know, I can sort of talk someone through the building of Stonehenge or what happened in the Titanic, for example, as you mentioned. And I think perhaps people like that. They're going dog walking, they're in the gym, they just like having that.
London is such an incredible place. It must be a treasure trove for somebody who's interested in history.
Well, it's funny because the Americans are always saying, you know, how did you set up? I go, well, I did have a huge advantage. I was in London, and I was Britain's got the second most World Heritage sites, you know, UNESCO World Heritage sites in the world after Italy. So really, just with a tube-like ticket or certainly within a day's journey on the train, you can see extraordinary things as we're seeing here now. You've got, you know, Cutty Sark there, but there are palaces, there are museums. So we start with a big advantage. You can, and if you can give it a kind of really amazing global flavour, that, by the way, is the oldest portcullis in Europe, in the Tower of London, still installed in the same place from the medieval period, never been moved. And so there's so much here to get your teeth into before you even get on a plane and go elsewhere. So London is a huge advantage, one of the world's great cities.
You're doing this live podcast, aren't you, in a few days' time, weaving in stories as well of your own life, I think. And of course, your dad was Peter Snow. He's Peter Snow. I read that he dragged you around battlefields and castles when you were a kid.
He did.
That's where it all started.
That's where it all started. I shame I didn't bring some pictures in, but yeah, I've got these pictures of me and my sisters at these battlefields in driving rain in the 80s and 90s. And people say, "Oh, did you?" I don't think I liked it that much, but I got Stockholm syndrome and just, you know, started to think it was normal, and then I now inflict it on my kids. There you go. That's back in the day, 2000.
First TV appearance.
Yeah, that's first TV appearance.
Great hair.
Look at that hair. Oh my gosh. We are blessed, aren't we? In this, London is blessed, not only in London but within a short. You can get public transport. I mean, how many, National Trust, English Heritage, stately homes, battlefields, abbeys, so we visited them all as kids.
Extraordinary, Dan. It's so good to speak to you. Thank you for coming in. We're going to go to the weather. Weather must have featured a lot in history.
I mean, absolutely decisive. I mean, the amount of times kings have been frustrated by thick mud, or William the Conqueror couldn't sail across the channel because the wind was the wrong way. So I'm looking forward to hearing the weather. Who will be invading?
No pressure. Oh my goodness, I'm still on the mixtape that your girlfriend made you. Or did you make it for her?
It went both ways.
A bit of poor weather in there, I bet.
You bet.
Well, we have had a bit of a nightmare with the weather at the moment. In fact, I was filming a Hidden London today, which is very much in theme with what you do, Dan. And I flicked my umbrella and the whole thing fell off. So I was a bit frustrated. But I was thinking about it, and I think the trouble is with the rain at the moment, we just haven't been used to it.
No, we're not, are we?
We've had a drier than average year. We should have had about 69% of our yearly rainfall, and we're on 46%. So we wake up and it's raining. We're like, what's that? Excuse me, what's going on? And guess what? A little bit more to come. Here we go.
Come rain or shine, Octopus Energy sponsors ITV London weekday weather.
Hello again. I hope you had a lovely day. Nice start before some showers moved in today. Tomorrow we might get a bit of that again. There will, though, be some heavy ones scattered about, blustery at times, and still feeling a bit cooler for the next few days too. Let's take a look at the detail then. So low pressure never too far away, and it is firing in systems which are bringing some showers. Saturday might be a little bit better, but Sunday we're looking at some more wet and windy weather heading our way as the day goes on, but quite uncertain timings at the moment and the position of any wet and windy weather too. So definitely keep an eye on the forecast. Tonight, if you're still heading out, take an umbrella. Look, we've still got those showers clearing off to the east, so you could still get quite damp, but behind them, lots of clear skies and those temperatures without that blanket of cloud just dropping down a little further. So a bit fresher first thing tomorrow morning. You might catch some early sunshine, but you can see that cloud returns. And as we go through the day, so do the showers. You might get a bit of thunder and hail cropping up at times, but in between them, some drier spells, perhaps a little more sunshine tomorrow. It's going to be quite blustery, particularly at the coast, and so those temperatures a bit mixed. In any sunshine, highs of 18 to 19 degrees, but certainly cooler in any showers and under that cloud. For the evening, we're not done yet. Still a few popping up here and there. Eventually, though, they do generally ease off, but we've got a bit of a rinse and repeat for Friday, although perhaps those showers more isolated and more so for Saturday at the moment. As I said, we'll keep an eye on Sunday. Have a super evening. I'll see you later. Cheerio.
Octopus Energy sponsors ITV London weekday weather.
The nominations for this year's Mercury Prize were announced today, and they are record-breaking in more ways than one. At 84, Martin Carthy has become the oldest person to be shortlisted by the Music Awards. And with his wife and daughter both having been nominated in the past, it is the first time three members of the same family can claim the honour. Before they can celebrate too much, though, there is the small matter of beating Britpop band Pulp. Helen Keenan has more.
To meet a true love, to meet a true love.
The awards that celebrate the best new music has its oldest nominee. Martin Carthy is one of the 12 who were up for the Mercury Prize Album of the Year and was celebrated in London today. His new album, a reimagining of his debut.
I believe I'm the oldest. Yeah, I believe so. It's,
how does that feel?
Old.
Parsley, sage, rosemary and thyme.
The original idea was to just re-record that first album from 1965. It was immediately better that I sort of just concentrate on a little core of stuff that you really wanted. You can see good reasons for doing it again, being 50 years older.
Growing up in Hampstead, it was London in the 60s and 70s where he started his career.
The audiences were always happy and excited. You know, they really wanted to hear what you got.
Were there some favourite places you liked to perform?
Oh, one of my bases was a troubadour in Earl's Court.
And where he first met, in his own words, his mate, Bob Dylan.
He turned up at the Folk Club just around the corner from Goodge Street Station, and I walked straight over to him and said, "Hello, you're Bob Dylan, aren't you?" And he went, "Yep." And I said, "Do you want to sing a couple of songs?" He said, "Ask me later." That's what happened, and he sang 3 songs and blew everybody away.
The awards are a family affair. Martin's daughter has been nominated previously, as has his late wife.
My mum was nominated first, and now it's my turn.
Beaten to the top prize by Pulp, who Martin is also up against.
He and Norma struck up a fabulous friendship. The two of them were like that, talking, tuck, 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 and it was wonderful to see.
The winner will be announced at the ceremony next month, but with Martin still performing at 84 years old, what's his secret?
It's easy. Don't stop. Never stop.
Helen Keenan, ITV News.
Thank you so much.
Finally, sticking with music, and Oasis are heading back to Nebworth. The Gallagher Brothers gigs at the Hertfordshire venue were iconic 30 years ago, with 2% of the UK population said to have applied for tickets. After the success of their reunion tour this summer, the band are said to be planning 5 dates next year. And that's all we've got time for this evening. The evening news is next with Mary, but for now, from all of us on the London team, have a lovely evening. Bye-bye.